Hello everyone, and welcome to turn 5 of my playthrough of Tiger's Lash out at Ladoga, Tide of Iron. It's an area I designed myself, and if you want to have more information on the background and context, and of course see the playthroughs of the previous rounds, I refer you to those respective videos. But for now, let's just pick up where we left off, which is the action phase of round 5, and it's the Soviets who have the initiative. Let's see, what are they going to do? First of all, I probably want to deal with the pack over here, so that it won't be able to fire at my tanks. So let's do that first. Concentrated fire, it's lightly damaged, so it receives -1 firepower, which is 7 then. The pack has 1 armor of itself, 2 for the woods, and 1 for the entrenchment in the same hex. That's 3 hits and 0 saves, so that one is definitely destroyed. Mission accomplished for the Russians as far as that's concerned. Second action, the Russians have 3 actions and the Germans have only 2, although they could buy the 88 artillery card, which acts like the naval warfare operations card or Katyusha's operations card. They can buy it and perform an action before the start of the action turn, which would technically give them 3 actions per turn as well, but of course they do have to pay 4 command for it each and every time. For now, I'm going to wait and see what the Germans do. So I'm not going to move these units now, but I'm just going to do something with less important units. For instance, I can put this T-34 heavily damaged. I'll put it in all fire. I might just as well fatigue it. It's not like any Germans are going to come anywhere near it, but it buys me some time for the more expensive, important units. And this mortar is also going to move for 1, 2, 3, 4, and it ends up here. It's commonly a good tactic in Tide of Iron not to use up all your important units. In this case, it's the T-34s in front. They want to be able to respond to what the Germans do. So yeah, if you right away use those, the Germans know exactly what you've done with them. Now it's 2 actions for the Germans. They could fire with this one. Let's see. Well, yeah, they might just as well do it before they get destroyed. It's 4 dice at long range against this T-34, which has 5 defense dice. Of course, I would prefer to fire at this one, but that one is out of range. Note that even though there are 2 elites in this squad, against vehicles, they don't offer any more firepower than regulars, unlike when targeting enemy squads. They score 1 hit, but also 1 save. What else do the Germans want to do? Well, those units here, they really don't want to do all that much with. And if I did want to still buy the card, this is the only unit with line of sight to any enemy units at the moment. So I think I will just put this one in up fire. Back to the Soviets. 3 more actions. Let's move this T-70, which has a movement value of 6. 3 to enter the woods. 4, 5, and 6. This squad, 2, 3. Yeah, and it cannot move in here. Could move over here, which might be an option. Yeah, let's just do that. And 1 more action 3, 4, 7. I could move over there. Yeah, let's just do that. This one has moved over here with a move of 7, and if they have the initiative on the next turn, they could deal with these Germans. 2 more actions for the Germans. The Germans aren't going to be doing much, well, many exciting things really this round. I suppose it will mostly be putting units in on fire. Because if I move any of these units into the woods, then these T-34s will simply fire at them, and that's not a good idea. Although if they do fire and not move, that will mean, well, that they won't move as much and as far as they would probably like to. Well, I'll just put 2 more units in on fire. Well, let me move this one. That's just a squad of regulars. There we go. 3 more actions for the Russians. I think I would like to take this neutral command objective. 1, 2, 3, 6. So that one's going to be taken by the Russians, which will leave the Germans with only 1 command point. Well, no, they still have these 2 as well. Is there anything I can do about that? I could move and fire perhaps. So that would be firing. I would have to have 2 left, so I could move over here afterwards. Let's just do that, even though a move of 3 probably won't take me very far. This one probably needs to go forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get the T-34s as far forward as they can. And maybe they can make it into these woods before the Tigers do, because rumor has it, some Soviet scouts have reported German Tigers being on the way to the front. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 6. That one also moves in here. 2 more for the Germans. Again, nothing too spectacular. Yeah, these units could move in here, but they, after moving in, well, they could move over here and have a firepower of 1. Yeah, it's got a range of 3, firepower of 2, so halved would only be 1, even though it's a 4, 5, and 6. I think that's a very tough call. So I'll just put these 2 in on fire as well. Okay, now the Soviets can simply finish their turn because the Germans don't have any units left. Let's see, 2 more T-34s, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. This one does exactly the same. I will need a lot of T-34s there to deal with the German Tigers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And that's it, because this hex is fully taken. Yep. 1 more T-34 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Machine gun, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do believe that's all the units. So that's the action phase of turn 5. So let's move on to the command phase. Determine control over objectives. Well, this one becomes Russian. So the Russians now have 1, 2, 3 plus 5 is 8 command plus 1 for free for the seize the initiative card. And the Germans have only, well, they still have 3 left. 1. Let me just put 5 and take 2 from here. Yeah. What do the Russians want to do? Well, they'll buy this KV1. Probably won't be able to exit the board, but I'll buy it anyway. It's going to cost me 5. I really do want to have the initiative on the next game round because I want to be able to move in those T-34s before the Tigers do. Then again, should the Germans have all these units in op fire at close range, that might be a little bit dangerous, especially this one, but I'm not all that afraid of the half tracks, but I really do want to have the initiative. So currently I have 14 for the Russians. The Germans have 13. They could get as many as 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 14, 19, 20, 14, 19, 21. So if the Germans really wanted to, they would gain the initiative. Yeah. But the Germans probably also want to have something left to be able to buy some cards. Let me exchange these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Russians. And, well, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll put 5 more. And that means the Russians have 18 command now. The Germans have 13, so they would have to put at least 5. Do they want to have initiative so badly? Probably not. They will just put 3 more. And even though they won't have initiative now, at least they force the Russians to spend some command on other cards too. Probably the Germans do want to buy some of their ace cards now, because which ones do they have? They're probably all command cards, command phase cards. No, action phase, so I have to save some command for that. This is actually not a bad card, and neither is surprise ace assault. That's really not too bad. I guess I will buy both those cards. So I'll put them over here, signifying that I've bought them, and they're going to cost me 5. So now I have only 1 left, and, well, I don't know if I'm going to lose that one, but it's quite possible. So they don't have a lot of options left, which is why I saved them for a while and didn't put everything on to initiative, because the Germans really, well, they're not getting many more. Okay, the Russians have also spent command, determine initiative. It stays with the Russians. Draw strategy cards. The Russians are going to draw from the winter deck now, and they can even draw 1 more. And they've drawn these 2 cards. Frostbite. Roll a die for each of your opponent's units in opportunity fire in snow terrain. On a roll of 6, your opponent removes a figure of his choice from that squad. Okay, well, not bad. Even though, yeah, this is mostly suitable against a mortar or machine gun team. But yeah, Okay, in Sub-Zero, during the next status phase, your opponent's units in snow terrain may not be put in opportunity fire. That's a good card to have, but I won't be able to buy it on this turn. I would have to buy it on the next turn, which I probably will. The Germans, what are they going to do? I think they will draw a card from the winter deck as well. No fuel. Fatigue one enemy vehicle that is not in opportunity fire mode, which is a card that they would have to buy during the action phase, but it costs 2 and they only have 1 command left. Remove tokens. Yeah, so this playthrough is turning out somewhat differently from the one before. But that's a good thing, of course. You don't want each and every time you play to play out exactly the same way. And the further you get into the scenario, the quicker the turns somehow seem to go, because lots of units are just moving, and as far as the Russians are concerned, and not firing as much anymore because they just need to storm forwards. Place units in up fire mode. Do the Russians want to do that? Probably not, because they don't see much anyway. And the Tigers won't be able to get that far. They won't enter until, well, they will enter now, obviously. Russians will go first, though. No, but the Germans probably do want to put a lot of units into on-fire mode. This one for sure. Actually, most of them. Practically all of them. Let's leave that one for now. Scenario reinforcements and events. Yes, the Tigers make it onto the stage, finally, for the Germans. Note that these are 2 marsh hexes, so vehicles cannot set up there. So we have 2 Tigers here and 2 Tigers here. And one of them is going to be an ace, and I'll designate it by using a German control marker. Officially, you're supposed to use a victory marker, but I find this a bit more delicate and less confusing, because somehow I always seem to think that it's an objective hex or something like that. But in this case, it's supposed to denote the ace status. The Germans have the tank ace op card in play, which means that the ace card gains +2 firepower. Also, your opponent receives 3 command if this tank is destroyed. And of course, the ace can benefit from the cards from the ace deck. Advance the round marker, round 6, and I'll continue right away. So this is going to be a video of turns 5 and 6. So it's again the Russians who have the initiative, and let's see what they're going to do. Yeah, I'll still have to buy that one, so that is not possible. That's an expert squad. I could, of course, no, I cannot do an overrun because I cannot move through a hex with. Could do an overrun here, of course. 3, 4, 5, 6, for instance. That's not a bad idea. So this tank is doing an overrun. 3. Yeah, of course, it is going to be fired at now. That is, of course, still possible. I suppose it cannot be fired at in the same hex. So that's 4 attack dice. and it's an expert unit, meaning that it will get to re-roll up to 4 dice. And the T-34 has 7 defense, 5 for its armor, and 2 for the terrain. The Germans, for now, only score 1 hit, and for now there's also only 1 save, but I need to roll 1 extra cover time as well. Now they have 3 hits and only 1 cover, so that's, well, lightly damaged. So will they still manage? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, with a move it still works. So that unit is pinned, even though it already fired. And this tank won't be able to move anymore. Let's see, what else can they do? Well, they really do want to move into some of these hexes. But it's going to be a little bit dangerous, of course, because all these units are in off-fire. Let's see what this one can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would be 7 already. If I want to fire, it's going to have to be with these units. And of course, the Tigers can fire at them as well. Yeah, it's a tough one. Well, let's first just bide some time. And move up some units from the rear. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that would be 6, but I'm going to need some more time for that. Well, let's move with this one. Fire and move. 3. And it's going to fire at that unit. Suppressive fire. 3 dice and 3 defense. 2 for the terrain, 1 for the elite unit. Score 1 hit, but also 1 save, so nothing happens there. Now it's over to the Germans. Suppose this unit could move over here, and it would only fire 2 dice. It's probably not going to be very useful. I'll just put it on fire as well. And do I want to buy a card? Well, it is in my play area. Is it going to destroy anything? Probably not, because it doesn't really see anything yet. I wonder if I move in here, if I can trace line of sight through half hexes. I think I could. So that might be an option. Move and fire with the Tiger tank. Could be the ace as well, of course. Let's just do the ace. 1, 2. And then I have 3 movement points left, which is more than enough. I roll 13 dice normally, divided by 2. So halved, rounded up. So it's 7. 7 against 5 defense dice. And of course I would have 15, so it's actually 8 because of the ace. It rolls 2 more. That's 3, 4 hits and 3 saves. So that's lightly damaged. And now it's back to the Russians. Yeah. Don't know if it's a very good idea, especially because the Germans can still fire at it. So I'm probably, in this case, it's really important I first move the units that are not so important. So the Germans are forced to do something with these units, which will if I move in with this T-34 now, the Germans are definitely going to shoot at it. If I just wait for them to use up all their activations, for example, it's not going to be able to move into the woods now. 1, 2, 3. That would cost them 6. They only have a movement value of 5, so that's not going to happen. If I move in here first, of course they will fire at me. So I'm first going to use these units to... that German unit hasn't done anything yet either. Is a move and fire a good idea there? That's a good question. I think I will fire with this, well, with this T-34 at it. Full firepower. So that's a firepower of 6 against 2 for the woods and 2 for the entrenchment. And I'm using normal fire because otherwise the Germans would get even 2 more dice for the elites. So I'm going for the kill, normal fire. That's 4 hits, 1 save, so 3 down. So there's only 1 elite left. What else are they going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, why not? Machine gun is moving in here. And well, and we're putting this unit here, which doesn't have anything better to do. I'll fire again. So now the Germans have fewer options, of course. Yeah, I would like to buy the no fuel one, but the Germans don't have enough command for it. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to put 2 units in on fire. There's not much more I can do. Although I want to be able to move into the woods at least at a later time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I could stay here as well, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's simply a move, which will allow me to move into the woods on the next turn, and also still fire then, of course, which I wouldn't be able to do if I was standing over here, because I wouldn't have enough movement points. You need to have 2 movement points left over to do fire and move with a vehicle, whereas it's only 1 with a squad. Back to the Russians. 3 activations. Well, the KV-1, which I believe only has a movement value of 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's not going to be able to get very far. Let me double check that if it's really 3, because the movement value is so low that, yeah, let's just say it's 4. It would make a difference over a number of turns, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. Let's see, where is it? It's always difficult to find when you're looking for something. There is a KV-1 movement value of 4. Yes, it is 4. Okay, so I can move 1 further. That's good. Here we go. Try something with those units, but yeah, this German unit is not in fire, so 1, 2. Well, let's try that. Move and fire, 2 dice, 4 defense, but of course the attack happens on 4s, 5s, and 6s. Nope. No hits, 2 saves. 1 left. 1, 4, 5, 6, and that's it for this one because it's slightly damaged. but they are all moving forward. Germans have 2 activations left, but only, and 2 units as well. Well, the lead is going to fire while it's still alive against that unit over there. So it's 2 against 2. We score 1 hit, but also 1 save. And what does this tiger want to do? Would also like to be able to get into the woods, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. See if I can do that slightly differently. There we go. That's it for the Germans, really. So now the Russians can finish their turn. Would be very dangerous to move in here, but if they don't do it now, they never will be able to. And yeah, they do have a couple of turns left, but can these make it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yes, they do. Okay, so that's a move, but of course now the Germans will fire at it. So this anti-tank squad, 7 dice. 2, 4, 6, 7, and 2, 4, 5, 6, and then I need to roll 1 extra because they have 5 armor and 2 cover from the woods. We have 3 hits and 1, 2, 3 saves already, so I don't need to roll any more. Okay, so that T-34 certainly gets lucky. No damage sustained, and it should be able to go first in the next turn, I assume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. That one is going to move in here, and it's going to be fired at by these 2 half tracks. So it's a firepower of 3 combined. Again, 7 cover. Well, cover and armor combined, that is. That's 2 hits and already 2 saves, so I don't need to roll that extra die. So far, that seems to be going pretty okay for them. Of course, I should have fired with the tiger. Potentially, the Russians could stop moving units in now, because the Germans didn't see that they could have fired with the tiger as well. But I am going to move in more T-34s. This one, 1, 4. This one can actually do a fire and move. So the tiger is going to fire at that one with 13 dice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And I will have to roll 1 extra cover because I don't have enough cover/armor dice. The Germans score 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and so far only 1 cover. Yes, only 1 cover. And it remains 1 cover, so this one is heavily damaged. So that also means it's not going to fire anymore, even though it made it to the woods. There's 1 more over there that could fire at it from close range, which is pretty dangerous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one is not going to manage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. And it couldn't move in there because it's already filled up to the stacking limit. Could move something over here probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, even though it's a normal move, but it makes it. 7. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one won't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's just put it over here. This one can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. And I do believe that's all the actions for the Soviets as well. So that leads us to the command phase, determine control over objectives. Not much has changed. Receive command and victory points. The Germans have 3. So this hex still hasn't been taken. The Russians have 5, 7, 8. That's 8 and 1 for free for the seize the initiative card. Spend command in order of initiative. That one's for the command phase. During the next status phase, your opponent's units in snow terrain may not be put in opportunity fire mode. The thing is, do they really want to? Because they already have. This would have been a really useful card to have on the previous turn. Oh, this one is for the Russians. Yeah, the Russians have it, so the Germans wouldn't be able to put their units in opportunity fire mode during the status phase, but it won't help them too much now. Then again, yeah, it may help them anyway. They will be able to fire with some units, but, well, I don't know. The other one is for the action phase. Okay, the Russians aren't buying any of those. They do want to definitely have the initiative now, so even if they have to spend all their command, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me exchange that one and let's see how many I can get. It's 10 more, 11 more, so that's 15, 19, that would be 30. The Germans can 16, they can only get 20. So if I put 2 more, then that's enough. Yeah. So this way the Russians will retain the initiative. They're not buying any cards. The Germans cannot really put anything onto initiative anymore because they don't have enough command for it. Surprise ace assault. Well, they already have it. They bought it already. Lead the way. That one would be handy as well. Absolutely. It's an action phase card, which would cost me 2. Okay, it's good to know. No fuel. Also handy. Won't be able to buy. Well, how much was this one? That one was 3 command, I think. No, 2. Well, action phase, both action phase, but I probably want to keep the command then to be able to spend it on those. And obviously, these 2 have already been paid for, so I can use those as well. So the Germans aren't spending anything now. Draw command cards. Well, if the Russians buy any reinforcements now, they will never be able to make it to the end of the board, so they will have to make do with the forces they have now. So obviously, they're drawing a card from the winter deck, and in this case it's the no fuel card. Fatigue 1 enemy vehicle that is not in opportunity fire mode, which is a very nice card for them to have. And the Germans will draw. They don't have a lot of command anymore. Yeah, well, let's draw one from the morale deck simply because we haven't really drawn from it yet. Place in your play area as an action, you may place an activation token on this card to remove one pinned or disrupted token from one of your squads. Yeah, I don't have that many squads, and the only one that's really useful at the moment is this anti-tank squad. So, yeah, not an extremely useful card at the moment, but I just wanted to draw one card from the morale deck too. Remove tokens. So yeah, probably on the next turn, even though the Russians have the initiative, the Germans do have the surprise ace card, ace assault, which means that the ace and possibly also another unit, I'll have to reread the card, well, I will show it to you soon, can actually take an action first, which is very important in this case, of course. Maybe I should have played the, what's it called? Was a card somewhere that would allow me, yeah, that units would be able to be put in off fire. That might have been handy since I have the initiative. Would I have been able to drive anything off the board? No, because I can go through here with my tanks. No, probably, well, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I cannot go through here. I cannot go there. So no, that wouldn't have worked out. But if it had, then it would have been a big blunder not to buy that card. But yeah, we always make mistakes when we play games. In this case, I didn't, but it might have been a severe one that would have made a big difference in the final outcome of the scenario, potentially. Yeah. Squad transfers, we don't have any. Scenario reinforcements and events, we don't have any. So we're going to advance the round marker, and I'm going to pause the video here and upload these 2 rounds. Thank you for watching, and see you at the beginning of turn 7.